Hello again, lovely fitness people. This is Stevo here, aka the Running Englishman, who's simply here to inspire you to be the best and fittest version of yourself. Because if I can do it, so can you. So today's video is my 12 weeks of doing MAF. I'm going to give you the lowdown on how everything has gone so far. So don't you go anywhere. Intro. Okay, so 12 weeks of doing the Maffetone Method. Time certainly flies when you're having fun. If you've been following my YouTube channel, then you'll know what I'm talking about. If you've not seen it before and you're new, maybe go back and have a look at what I've been up to in my previous videos. And maybe hit that subscribe button and just watch the videos back when you have time. But I'm going to go over a little bit today what I've been up to. So I started Maffetone Method at June this year after running previously for like 18 months. 2 or 3 times a week, where all my runs were tempo runs, because that's what you do when you start, it seems. What is the point in running slow? Well, that's what I thought anyway. Back then I managed to get my times down to roughly 8 minutes and 25 per mile average. That is sometimes running 10 miles, sometimes running 7. It's just whatever I could manage on the day. And I know people won't think that's very fast, but trust me, that was a right slog to try and get that time to that. I probably could maybe run faster than that, but that is what I managed to train myself to do some half marathons at. And to be honest with you, it wasn't enjoyable at all, and it was pretty exhausting. My heart rate would average between 160 to 180 just for pleasure runs, but I didn't care about my heart rate back then. I just cared about getting around as fast as I could. I thought I was getting fitter, but I wasn't. I did manage to knock some time off the 3 half marathons I took part in last year. I was knocking 3 minutes off each time, but each one of those races was purely anaerobic. There's nothing aerobic about it at all. It was seriously hard work and completely exhausting. And I ran my last one in Oxford at an average mile round of 8 minutes and 35, which I was happy with that time. But when I checked back, also my heart rate was average of 179. So not a bad time, but a dangerously high heart rate. So that's when I thought that something had to change. So enough about my past mistakes, let's get on to the here and now. So after looking at the science of fitness and running during the coronavirus lockdown this year, I started doing low heart rate training. After doing that for a month or so, I realised I still wasn't running quite slow enough. So after I discovered the Maffetone Method, and I haven't looked back since. Now I must stress, this isn't some magical formula that makes everyone really good at running, but it is like a simple laid out package of a running method that can really benefit you, and I'd say it's definitely worth investing some time in that into if you're interested in trying to improve your running and your general aerobic fitness. The premise is quite simple. You learn how to eat well, and you learn how to exercise at an honestly given heart rate, which is personal to you, which you can work out on the Maffetone website. And you basically condition your heart to run like a new diesel engine. You literally learn how to cruise when you're running, and when you get it right, you feel like you can run for hours. So it's definitely worth giving it a go. Okay, so late June this year, I done my first MAF test, which they advised to do. 5 miles round a flattish track, and my average mile pace going round was 10 minutes 28. I mean, that isn't a terrible start, I don't think. Some people might have it worse than that, some people might do it better than that, but it did feel a little bit deflating when I've been giving it some real welly for the last 18 months. So first test, 10 minutes 28. I took some advice on being patient, because everyone says about being patient, and I have to totally agree with that. So I did all my MAF runs 3 or 4 times a week whenever I could get out at my given 143 heart rate at various sort of distances and times. Okay, 4 weeks later, test number 2, same conditions, same track, exactly the same exertion going round, 9 minutes 22. Not bad, I'll see that as progress. That's a minute knocked off, bearing in mind that I haven't changed anything, my heart rate's running the same, but that's a minute knocked off of my time over 4 weeks. And so I carried on doing the same thing. Another 4 weeks pass, same track, same distance, you get the idea. This time 9:18, so not the progress that I was hoping for, but progress nonetheless, still knocked a few seconds off at the same heart rate. over that next 4 weeks after that, I made a few little adjustments of trying to run a bit further and stuff like that, and I overdone it. I won't speak about it too much today, but I've spoke about it in some other videos if you go back to check on them. My time started to regress a little, went back upwards. I sorted out those problems and started to get back on track fairly quickly. As I've said a million times, it is a trial and error. So when you make those mistakes, figure out what you've done wrong, correct it, get back on track, watch the times fly back down. The fourth test soon came round. That's the 12-week thing I'm on about, and the results are here. Right, just back from my fourth test. It all went good. 8:15 average pace, average mile, so definite progress there. So I remember to be quiet in my garden and everyone's still asleep and it's still early. But yeah, just clock it in that test is done, progress is still there. Just going to carry on doing what we're doing, I think. So time for some coffee and get back to the video. Ciao for now. So 8:15 average mile round. Like, I was dead chuffed with that. Like, I can't believe it's gone down sort of, that's another whole minute over the space of that 4 weeks after tweaking my workouts and trying to get it all right. So this has made me want to carry on with doing purely MAF just for the moment, because I do say to add some speed work in, but I need to carry on doing just the MAF now, purely for this YouTube channel, just so we can see that how far and how fast it can make you go just by running at 1:43 at all times. During that time, my body composition has completely changed as you naturally sort of drop weight as you go. My VO2 max just seems to have skyrocketed. I check it fairly often to see how it's going, and I've got like a trend of going upwards, and God knows how, but it's at the moment slipped into the superior fitness, which I'm not sure if I feel that way really, but that's what my watch is saying. So I want to go with that and just say that it's a bit of proof that the whole process is working. And I'm 37 now, and I honestly feel better in myself now and fitter now than I did through the whole of my 20s when I was playing football and all sorts. So I'd like to say that it's starting to work, and hopefully I can keep it going. So 12 weeks of running at 1:43. I started, my first one was 10:28, my last one was 8:15. So that's a whole 2 minutes and 13 seconds when all I've done is change the way I eat to try and be a bit healthier. And all I've done is run slowly at a heart rate of 1:43. And all in the space of a measly 12 weeks. I mean, what's 12 weeks when you're doing running, when you're going to try and do running for years and years? It's definitely worth the investment, I think. So my plan going forward is another month or two of doing this. I'm desperate to go out and try and do some 5Ks and 10Ks and stuff like that, just to see if this has affected my my times for sort of faster running. But I'm doing it purely for this YouTube channel. I'm going to try and get it down, see how far it can take us down just by doing the 1:43 at all times. And I'll add the speed work and that in a bit later. Although I have signed up on Strava to do like a half marathon, but I'll do that as a one-off. I've got to do it sometime in September. I'll bring you results for that. But otherwise, it's pure 1:43 heart rate. And that's bearing in mind that some of the runs I'm doing now are faster than the ones that I was doing in that 18 months before, where I was sort of giving it my all, trying to break my own times. And I'm running at 1:43 heart rate now and going faster than what it was back then, when my heart rate was like 1:73. So to me, that feels like that feels pretty awesome and like a total game changer for my running as well. So my overall review of the Maffetone method over 12 weeks is yes, it does work. Well, at least it has done for me, and I'm pretty sure it can for you if you get everything in line. Get yourself your honestly done heart rate off of the Maffetone website. Go out there and just run how much you can, but not too little and not too much at your given heart rate. Find the right balance, and I'm pretty sure that you're going to see your times just drop and drop. So don't forget to hit the subscribe button and give me a little thumbs up if you like what you've seen here. So you can follow my journey on into the future ones. I can't wait for the coming months where we get to do some faster running and stuff and just see if this whole thing has actually been worth it. At the moment, it certainly feels like it has. And if you have any good stories or bad stories of doing MAF, have a look at my email in the description, and just send me your story on there. As I said before, I'm going to be reading out some case studies. I've got some good ones in line already, but I'd like to hear more of them. I've also got my Facebook page and that on the description, and my Instagram and all those things. So yeah, hook up to those if you want, and let's follow the whole story together, and hopefully it can work well for you. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you again in some future videos. Stevo.